Alright, so we're back for the final installment of this 3 video series, and what we got here is the Dynasty Deep Dive extras. What I did here was combine the rest of the details that we found in the Dynasty Deep Dive blog, and we're going to talk about it here. And first, we're going to jump into the additional details about progressing players. So instead of progressing each ability individually, what they did this year was allow us to progress each ability based off of a skill group. A skill group is a collection of related attributes. For example, a running back power skill group includes trucking, strength, stiff arm, toughness, jumping, and injury. Each skill group has a max level of 10, and each time you upgrade a skill group, it will increase one level and progress all attributes in that skill group. With that being said, some players could have skill group caps that are less than 10. And skill group caps can be thought of as a player's max potential. And these will vary by player, skill group, position, and archetype. And once a skill group is maxed out, you can no longer upgrade it. Unless the coach has the architect archetype and the limitless or put a ring on it abilities. Limitless provides a chance to increase a random skill cap every time a player levels up, and put a ring on it provides a chance to increase their highest skill cap after winning a conference championship or a national championship. As covered in the gameplay deep dive, players can have up to 5 physical abilities and 3 mental abilities, and both mental and physical abilities have 4 tiers, which are bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. Also, they discuss impact players being back in the game, which gave us a quick way to identify star players. Every team will have one offensive and defensive impact player. However, unlike in previous versions, there are no limits on how many impact players your team can have. So for example, teams like Georgia has multiple impact players, and that makes them almost unstoppable if you're a lower tier team. And accumulating impact players on both sides of the ball in a rebuild has to be something to marvel at as you play the game during your 30-year dynasty. Now let's talk about the college football playoffs, which features 12 teams this year. And while developing this game, EA sat down with the college football playoff committee and did mock selections so that they can give us the most accurate simulation to the college football playoffs, which will be playing in the virtual world before it actually happens in the real world. While the media and coaches poll will run throughout the season, which features the top 25 rankings, we will have to wait till November to get a sneak peek of the 12-team playoff bracket. And this will be its own separate poll, which we will see change until the college football playoff teams are selected. And the selection of those teams will be based off of the ranking/seeding rules. One of the most exciting things about the new 12-team format is that the first round games will be played on campus, and the team with the highest seed in those first round matchups will have home field advantage. The quarterfinals and semifinals will be played at the Orange Bowl, Sugar Bowl, Rose Bowl, Fiesta Bowl, Cotton Bowl, and the Peach Bowl. And these are scheduled to rotate annually, just like in real life. And the national championship will start off in year 1 at the Mercedes-Benz Dome in Atlanta. And then the championship game will rotate through 10 different locations and looping back around to the Mercedes-Benz Dome in year 12 and starting over from there. And in addition to the college football playoffs, we still have 34 additional bowl games. And just like the college football playoffs predictions, we will get our earliest bowl predictions at the start of November. Now moving on to conference realignment, we got a lot of information about that as well. And if you don't modify the conferences in your first season, you will start off with the 2024 alignment. And for you guys who like to rebuild teams and start off in the Sun Belt Conference, the Sun Belt Conference is the last conference to feature divisions. And if you're a traditionalist and you want to reset the conferences, you will not be able to reduce a conference size to less than 4 teams. And you will not be able to create a conference larger than 20 teams. And like before, we will be able to edit conference rules. And the ability to customize schedules year in and year out, we will still be able to do that, but you will not be able to change the conference games, as conference games are locked so that each conference will be able to have the right amount of conference games to play so that championship decisions can be made. And this time around, EA said that the schedule generator will make sure each team has 12 games each season. Because back in the previous versions, if you took a team off of your schedule, you can sometimes see a team only playing 11 games or 10 at some time. Kickoff games are also in College Football 25, like the Duke's Mayo Classic, but only will be available in future years of the Dynasty. And if a team has a crowd theme, you will see that in effect in their first home game, or if they have the game of the week. Also, EA spoke about Team Builder by letting us know that in private online dynasties, we have the ability to import up to 16 Team Builder teams, but it's up to the commissioner to import those teams prior to you guys starting the dynasty. And we got information about redshirting as well, which is different from previous versions, where they said that in each preseason you will have the ability to redshirt players, but if you needed a player during the season, you can take that red shirt off of him. But if he plays less than 4 games, his red shirt will still be active. But if he plays more than 4 games, that red shirt will be burnt, which means it will count against him. But you will still have the ability to redshirt him the following year if needed. Also, they gave us some information about the trophies in the game. And before, we only heard about the Heisman being in the game. But they also confirmed that we have official additional trophies. We have the Lou Groza, the Unitas Golden Arm, the Broyles Award, and the Head Coach of the Year Award. And they spoke about the preseason and postseason All-American teams, which will give us the ability to follow these players throughout their careers. And I hope they allow us to see that a player was selected to the All-American team his freshman year, just to keep up with how many All-American team selections that one player had. So we also will have the ability to track season stats, career stats, which is something that's always been in the game. And we also have coach stats. Now, one thing I didn't like about NCAA Football 14 was that you could see a coach's overall wins and losses and their win percentage and the amount of national championships they won, awards they won, All-Americans, all that good stuff. But you weren't able to see their track record at each university. And this year, we will have the ability to do that. And they confirmed pride stickers, something that we covered in a previous video. And the players will accumulate stickers based off of accomplishments. And each year, those stickers will reset and the player will start over from there. And last but not least, they shared a few bullet points. Starting off with letting us know that online and offline dynasties will have the same length of 30 seasons. And Dynasty will feature up to 32 users, both online and offline. And only 1 user per school in Dynasty. So you cannot have your buddy as the offensive coordinator and your other buddy as a defensive coordinator unless you guys are sharing controllers. And we know the commissioner is in charge of all things when it comes to setting up the dynasty and dynasty settings. And in the online dynasty, you also can transfer the commissioner status to any member. And commissioners can force wins, and we all will be able to see if someone restarted a game after losing. And that's all I have for the Dynasty Extras deep dive. And hopefully soon we will have some information about Team Builder, which we've been waiting on as well. And if you're interested in more updates, hit that like button, the notification bell, and subscribe to the channel. I'm out of here. 1.